Howdy, homesteaders. What I have here is a mustache jar filled with vinegar water and lemon. You know why? Because my wife loves me. Why the vinegar water? Well, it's a good general practice to do. It's like a cure-all or a prevent-all type measure, just to alkaline the body and kind of help things go a little bit better. But basically, I just wanted to share that I've been having some health issues, and I haven't been diagnosed, but really, from what I've been reading, a lot of people either get misdiagnosed or they go years without being diagnosed, or they have to test like 3 or 4 times before they get a good diagnosis. So I'm not going to put a lot of into that, but I've been researching things and looking around, and yes, I'm trying to be my own doctor, right? But in a lot of cases, sometimes you have to be, because sometimes, you think that, oh, well, after all these years that the people that go to these medical schools, that they know everything about the human body. But really, what I found is that most doctors that are out there, they do take a class on nutrition, but it's just a single class. All the multitude of other classes have nothing to do with nutrition. So really, in general, most doctors have very little understanding of actual nutrition. They base everything on medicines, prescriptions, and things of that nature. And, everything is tied to a prescription. Everything is tied to a medicine. Very little is actually taken into consideration about people's actual nutrition. So, treating the body as a whole, treating body in a way to get the body to heal itself, that is an idea that's really completely foreign to the majority of the medical establishment. So, you can get a diagnosis sometimes, but beyond that, once they find out what it is, what are they going to do? A lot of times they give you antibiotics. And what is an antibiotic? An antibiotic, by definition, is anti-life. Bio means life. So it's anti-life. Well, what does it mean, anti-life? It means it kills life. It's poison. Every antibiotic out there is poison. The idea is that the poison is supposed to kill the problem before it kills the patient. The main reason why they keep changing antibiotics is that the poison that you introduce to your body gets a resistance built up to it, to where it's no longer really affecting it as much as it could. So if you increase the poison, you could kill the patient. So instead of killing the patient, they change the antibiotic to kind of switch up your body so that the body will not be immune to it, and it'll attack it in that way. But really what the antibiotics do over a long period of time is that it breaks down your immune system and makes you weaker. So if it doesn't kill the problem, it is making you sick. Okay, so that's a major problem I have against antibiotics. So, obviously I've got some bias. Okay, I believe in natural cures. For the most part. Now, I'm not totally excluding medicine and prescription as a whole. I'm sure that there are some very serious conditions that the only thing you can really do at certain points in time is actually use prescriptions. I recognize that. I recognize that both in people and also in animals. A lot of times these natural remedies are not meant to actually fix a problem that currently exists. A lot of these natural remedies are actually meant to prevent those things from happening in the first place. So most natural means are actually supposed to be preventative measures, but people still get great success healing a lot of things that are quite severe just by changing their nutrition and using natural means. So there is success that can be done, but you can also be in a situation where you're too far gone for the natural means to do anything. That you actually need some prescription drugs to get a boost back in the right direction and then pick back up and wean yourself off the drugs with the natural means. Sometimes that's a strategy you might have to take. Right? So, don't take this as all medicines are evil. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that whenever possible, natural means are better. Because one thing I do know about medicines and prescriptions is that they always have side effects. You have the main desired effect, but then you have maybe one or two side effects, sometimes more. And then the side effects are additional problems that you have to take other drugs for that also have side effects. And what can happen is the problem can cascade into 20 or 30 different prescriptions, right? And you have a bunch of prescriptions, a whole box full of prescriptions. And a lot of people, as they enter old age, that's what they get stuck with, right? So I want to avoid that at all costs if I can. Right now, it's true that you could also end up with 20 or 30 different natural supplements. Yeah. Very easily done, but it's not caused by side effects. With the natural means, sometimes you need to take different natural supplements that work together in concert to achieve a certain goal. Like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So you might have 10 to 20 to 30 different bottles of natural stuff. Not triggered by side effects, but they all work together in concert to do a certain thing. Right? Now the difference between the natural stuff, the supplements that's actually considered as food, right, is if I stop taking one of those, or if I stop taking 2 or 3 of those, or if I miss my dosage on all of them in a particular given day, it's not going to kill me. I might not even notice it if I only miss one day, because it has a cumulative effect in the body. It might take missing a week to really lose all of the effect, right? But it's better to keep up the regimen, keep it going, so you can actually get to the finish line, which is actually to be cured, right? You don't want to be treated for the rest of your life, whether it be natural or prescription. So, with prescription, if you had 20 or 30 different prescriptions, you miss even one of those, even one dosage, and it really can kill you. It can trigger a cascade domino effect, that boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, you're having a heart attack or something, or your liver is going out, or your kidneys are failing, or who knows what's going on because you missed that one dose. That happens, right? That's possible. But with natural supplements, that's not the case. It's not been my experience. I've been trying to fight this thing for a while now. I had a diagnosis that I believe was a misdiagnosis, and I'm not going to go into too much detail with that. But basically, I think it just sent me down the wrong path. And I was taking the right natural precautions for what I thought my problem was. And it had some, the thing that's good about natural cures is even if you're going in the wrong direction, even if you're picking something that's not really the main cause, you're still going to have some benefit from it. So I was actually getting benefit from it. I was feeling better. I was having more energy. I was having increased concentration. My mental fog wasn't as bad. And that's what I had. Mental fog, no energy sometimes. Sometimes I can't think or do anything. I'm just sitting there and I feel like I'm in quicksand. And it's really debilitating sometimes, and it makes it to where I have to fight just to concentrate. I have to fight to do anything. To do the simplest things, I have to fight to do them, right? And I didn't really know what was causing it. I still don't really know what's causing it, but I have my own diagnosis, which is I emit a hypothesis. I have my hypothesis. It's not a proven theory. It's not a fact yet. But I'm going to go in this direction. I know it's not simply because I'm, in my 40s, approaching my 50s. Okay? I know that when you're in your 40s and you're approaching your 50s, you're going to experience a loss in some energy, a loss in some concentration, but you're not going to get almost to a point of debilitation. It's not going to be that extreme. I'm sometimes experiencing it to that extreme. I'm having a hard time making this video. So just to let you know. So it's much more than just because I'm in my 40s, okay? If it was just that, the regimen I was doing before would have totally dealt with that, but it didn't. It made it better. I was feeling better, but it didn't cure anything, And because I had the wrong idea about it, because I thought, well, it's just because I'm in my mid-40s, it's natural, I started asking myself, why am I taking all these supplements? Why am I doing all these things if it's just a natural process that I'm supposed to go through? If it's something that's natural that I'm supposed to go through, I just need to learn how to deal with it. So then I backed off of everything. And now I'm back to where I started. And I had gotten to the point where I lost 60 pounds. I was going in the right direction. Now I've gained 20 pounds. I'm going back in the wrong direction. And I'm right back to where I started. I felt like I did nothing. So I'm really saying, okay, I had the wrong prognosis. I might still have the wrong prognosis, but I think this is a better chance of survival. I don't think it has to do with my natural processes. I think that I have a microbe, Lyme's disease, maybe have several microbes that I have to deal with. So I'm going to start doing antimicrobial treatments. I'm going to start doing anti-inflammatory treatments. I'm going to start doing some detox treatments. I'm going to start doing, that's what this this Wonder Juice, if you want to call it Wonder Juice, with the apple cider vinegar, that still has the mother with it. The cold pressed, I guess is what it's called. The good stuff, the good stuff. I'm drinking that, which, I can't stand it. I think it's disgusting, but, they say you get used to it, so I'm going to have to force myself to get used to it. You gotta do something that you don't like in order to get well, and I'll do what I have to. But I need to start going back in the right direction. So I think that that's the way I need to go. I need to deal with these microbes. I need, get my microbiome in balance, as they say. I know it sounds incredibly new agey, and I know it sounds incredibly flighty and all that stuff. And some of it might be, but it's all natural stuff. So it's basically food. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit from here, a little bit from there. But it's on a food level, a supplement level. So it's going to do some good. Even if I'm wrong about having Lyme's disease, and I know you can go out and have it checked, but from what I understand, you can have it checked 3 or 4 times, and maybe by the 4th time, they might say, oh yeah, you got Lyme's disease. But I'm not going to pay for all those lab tests. I'm not going to do it. I don't have the insurance that's going to allow me to have unlimited lab tests. And actually, the way health insurance is in this country today, pretty much no one has that kind of insurance anymore. Well, maybe the upper class might have it, but it's getting to where almost nobody has that kind of insurance anymore. The health insurance people are backing off on what they cover, and they cover less and less and less and less. So to keep getting these unlimited tests, I'm not going to do it. It's just too much money. And I can just assume, based on my symptoms, which is how they used to do medicine before all these tests. They would look at your symptoms, say, okay, these are the symptoms, and they classify it, this is what you're dealing with, or you're dealing with one of these possible things, and we'll try this, and if that don't work, we'll try this, and if that don't work, we'll try this. Eventually, we'll try something that works. And that's the way medicine was done. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm looking at the symptoms, matching it up with the condition, and Lyme's disease fits the bill. So I'm going to treat that and see what happens. If it is Lyme's disease, then the microbes can be killed. And once the microbes are killed and everything's back in balance, then I'm cured. And the only way that it's going to come back is if I get bit by another tick and the microbes introduced back into my body again, and then it could come back. But my wife lives with me, and she does not have these problems. So I think that once I can defeat the microbes and get my body back the way it needs to be, get it back in a healthy balance where it needs to be, and yeah, I can increase, and I've always been wanting to eat more healthy. One of the main things about starting this homestead is to grow your own food and to be more healthy. So I've always wanted to do that, and that's still my plan. But I need to get out of this condition, right? I need to get out of the condition. So I just want to share this with you. I'm doing all these things. I'm running the chainsaw. I'm doing all these different jobs, and it is wearing me out. It is. But I'm going to continue to do it because sitting on the couch day in and day out is not going to make me better. It's not. I've got to kick myself. I've got to force myself to get up and go, get up and do things, whether I feel like it or not. I just got to do it. But in the midst of all of this, I'm going to be seeking out these supplements. I'm going to be seeking out these natural remedies and treatments. And above all this, I'm going to be praying. I've been praying this whole time that the Lord would heal me. And ultimately, it's the Lord who does heal. Even if I get healed by natural healing, why does the natural healing work? Because God designed my body that way. God designed all creation that way. That these elements and these elements and these elements, they're like building blocks, nutrients that goes into my body. My body uses the building blocks that I'm putting in, and it processes it through the factory, and it performs a job, which is defeat the problem. Kill the microbes. Get rid of the foreign invaders. Get rid of the free radicals. Whatever you want to call it. God designed it that way. So if I get healed, it's still healing from God. But there is a difference between natural healing and supernatural healing. So first and foremost, I seek supernatural healing. But at the same time, I also seek and accept natural healing. And I leave it up to God what He wants to do. But I just seek to be healed so I can be more useful, so I can make the most out of my time while I'm here in this life. And just like I've been saying, there's things that matter more, and then there's things that matter most. And I want to be healthy for the things that matter most. So I just want to share this with you, let you know that this is what I'm dealing with. And with the Lord's help, I'm going to push through. So I'm including you in this part of the story. So may God bless you, and have a nice day.